Welcome to the crazy house. The crazy house. What's up, y'all? Figured I'd do something a little different this morning since it's early enough. Why not? I got the old K&N filter in. What did they say? He said he wanted me to get that. Homeboy said he wanted me to get the K&N. I got it. It's in. Right there. We'll talk about that here in a second. I got, let's see, flip this around. Good morning. This old girl back. She was fun driving today. I had a, Cadillac Escalade pull up next to me. And he thought he's fixing to scoot off. Young guy going to work in the morning, construction worker. He thought he's fixing to scoot off on that in that thing and take off and leave me. Not really. This car jumps so hard off the damn line now with the new LSD and the 373 gear set. So when I launch this thing off the line next to another vehicle, it don't matter if it's an Escalade with a 6.2 or not, it's almost like a full car length. It jumps immediately and then it just slowly pulls away. Homeboy thought he was gonna pull up next to me and take off, and I gave him the damn beans. The old Grand Marquis, she didn't let me down. Kept pulling little by little. Them 6.2s are fast, but they're heavy. And she just kept pulling and pulling a little bit by little bit by little bit, and I got him. Sucker! Anyway, got the K&N. Let's talk about the K&N. Since old boy wants to talk trash, we got the K&N in. We're gonna run our test again. And let's look at the directions inside this box. This was ordered specifically for my car. Specifically for a Panther platform. When you pull the directions out in this box, it tells you exactly how to do it. It says, see current catalog for current listings, right? It says, congratulations, you have purchased the finest air filter that money can buy. With proper care, this filter will last 1 million miles or more. This filter is a direct replacement for stock air filter, and no modifications will be required. However, the following procedure must be followed to ensure proper fit and seal of the K&N air filter. When you're looking at this here, right, it says, if you have any questions, call this number. It says to remove this is my car. Remove the duct, take the mounting nuts off, pull the air box out of the car, remove the mass airflow from the air box as you're, before you pull it out. Fit your filter in, push your lid back in the slots, and then put everything back in, right? Install airbox in reverse order, reconnect the electrical. After airbox lid is fastened to the airbox, push the lid in the direction shown while pushing on the base in the opposite direction. Ensure that the tabs and the lid are fully seated in the slots on the base. Number 9, install airbox in reverse order, reconnect electrical connectors and intake hose. Tighten the hose clamps down. Now, where in any of this did it say you have to oil this filter? Say I was a first time guy that's just new to K&N. It's the first time I picked up a K&N, and I've never had anybody tell me how to do it, and I want to be cool like all the other K&N guys. This is the first time. Where does it say anything about oiling this thing? Are you supposed to automatically know that? Especially if you're a brand new guy, never used K&N before? You don't have to oil the air. You don't say. You don't say. I don't have to oil the air. Okay, all right. On the front of the box, re-oiling, 1.34 fluid ounces. Re-oiling. It makes it seem like when you look at the box, this is supposed to be a filter that's oiled. I mean, if it's just a drop-in filter, how can you go wrong? How could anybody be wrong with their statistics if this is just a drop-in filter and you don't have to oil anything? If you don't have to clean and degrease this thing, then how are you supposed to service it at the service interval that they say take it out and clean it? You just take it out and tap it? Damage the metal screen? Or you take it out and degrease it and clean it? Or does it come oiled already and you have to re-oil it? So explain that to me. $10.32. Watch your mouth for one. Straighten yourself up real quick this morning. Don't talk to me with a condescending tone like, oh, you're anybody that buys a K&N knows that. Don't play that shit here. That ain't gonna off real quick. I am playing devil's advocate here. If you don't get that, I'm playing devil's advocate here because of the recent drama that another creator has brought to a couple people's names. I mean, it's pretty much common sense. I don't know how you're not picking up what I'm putting down, but that is what this is. If you don't know anything about this filter, how are you supposed to know how to use this thing when these directions don't even explain it to you? Wouldn't it be nice to have the directions on here that says, hey, this filter is oiled already. There's no need to oil this filter any further. Drop it in the car. And at this interval, this is how you should service it, and this is how you should do it. If I'm a first-time guy buying this kit that's ready to be dropped in with no instructions on how to move forward with it, what am I supposed to do? Let's see here. Compared, different languages. This doesn't. I don't see no directions in here. There's a sticker in here. So I got to be the guy that... Do not forget the final step. Register your product. Scan here. This is my little K&N filter. Stick on the window. It adds 5 horsepower. Another K&N filter in here. Or another K&N sticker in here. Stop. Washable, reusable air filter. The use of K&N air filter will not void your vehicle's warranty. Yes, it will. Manufacturers have already said not to use these filters. So this is not true. They've already had technical service bulletins on, what was it, Dodge? Dodge back in the day or something like that. That said, do not use these air filters. Use only OE approved air filters. So this is misleading for one. So here we go. Here's a sticker that I didn't see that was down in the box. Washable, reusable air filter. Okay. How do I do that? Where's the directions on how to do that? I don't see that anywhere in this box. It's not on the box. It's not on the paper. Let's play devil's advocate here. We're going we're doing everything here, all right? I guess I got to look that video up. Well, lately you've come across quite a few times the wrong way. I get what you're saying. 1032. Maybe I'll just call you 10. I get what you're saying, but chill with that shit with me. I don't like all that, and I don't do that shit. I don't play that fuckboy stuff. That's not something I do. You might be able to talk like that with your homeboys and stuff like that, but that ain't me. So anyway, I'm playing devil's advocate here. It's not as clean cut and dry as people make it say. Oh, if you did it right, if you did it correctly. Well, how? How do you do it? If I'm the guy, the brand new guy picking this product up, do better. Put some instructions in here on how you want things done. This is a little ridiculous, the fact that it shows up and they don't even have anything explaining how you're supposed to do it in the box. A little ridiculous, but I guess it is what it is. Maybe I'll put the K&N stickers on there ahead of time just to be a poser. Yeah, bet they just say it's cool. The whole idea, user with a lot of numbers says is it's supposed to, the oil is supposed to trap the debris before it makes it into the pores. You know what I'm saying, 10. I'm not going to keep playing games with you, bro. I'm just telling you right now. Lately you've been a little pushy with saying stuff and it ain't jiving with me. So I'm telling you man to man right now without any fluff, knock it off. I don't like it. So I'm going to respect you as long as you respect me. You try to start talking down to me, then I'm going to get rid of you. I don't need you in my life. That's just how it works. Here is look at that. Two sexiest cars on the planet. Even though I need to redo the rock chip guard or the trunk guard on that. I need to get the windows tinted on the Grand Marquis. Let me show you all this. This is what I'm working on this morning. Good morning, y'all. Sorry I didn't let's do the Pledge of Allegiance real quick. Y'all ready? You ready for the Pledge of Allegiance? Stand up. If you can stand up, stand up. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. We got the flag right there, even though it's all twisted up. Ready? The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, did y'all notice this is basically a Toyota Matrix right here? Pontiac vibe. It's got the same engine, same transmission as the Toyota Matrix. Certain years, dude will rack this thing out to like 8,000 RPM and it will take every bit of it. I didn't know that. That one right there has got a turbo that's out in it. It's a Jetta TDI turbo diesel. Got to put a turbo in it. This dude bought this thing like dirt cheap, this little Honda Fit, and then he immediately put coilovers on it, rims on it, tires on it, exhaust on it. Oh, you see the exhaust it has on it right there? You see the exhaust on this car? They said this exhaust that's on this car sounds better than any import exhaust that they put on this car. It came off of that town car. Look at the tip of it. Roush. It came off that exhaust, the muffler on this thing is off of a 5-liter Coyote. This one we just got finished with. This one is a wiring job. I need to find a harness for the front end of this thing. This one, okay, so here's a little backstory on this Acura. The tire blew out. The dude continued to drive the car with the tire being blown out and flopping around. And it flopped around. He took out the fender of the car, ripped it all up, and took the harness with it as he was driving on the flat. Look at the rim, how ground down the rim is, and how flattened out it is. He took the fender out, and he took the whole harness out on this side. I gotta get started on this girl. This gotta go to the body shop. I think I'm gonna send this down to the body shop maybe next week or the week after. I want to get all the little body stuff in it. I want to get the motor and trans finished pulled out of here. But then they're gonna have to, at the body shop, they gotta pull all the chrome and stuff off around the windows. And they're gonna fix all the bubbling and stuff for me. And they're gonna paint the inside of the engine bay. I don't know why he would keep driving, but he did. This Porsche had instrument cluster problems, but it's fixed now. It's all programmed and back together. She said Porsche charged her $1,500, $1,000, or $1,500 to put a battery in this thing, because the battery itself is like $300 something, and then their outstanding labor rate to pull up the front seat and stuff like that. And I don't know if you got to reset the battery on this or something. Almost I think she said $1,500 to put a battery in this thing is what they charged her. Look at this in here. I never showed y'all. Look at this. Turn the music. I'll show you. Let me get in here so I can get this music turned down so it doesn't screw up the video or something like that. I'll show you guys what I got going on in here with this Cadillac. It's a 1990. This is an original owner. 60,000 miles on this car. It's a 1990 Cadillac Brougham. It's got a small block 350 in it, and he's got another one with a 305 in it. And I've got the top done hooked up to it right now, charging the battery. It'll start and die. Start, die, start, die, start, die, and it does it over and over and over again. Throttle body injected. I started playing with the distributor, and I got it to where now it's actually hitting, and it's staying running a couple seconds, and then it dies. I think I have a fuel pressure problem. I don't see the injectors actually spraying enough, like with enough pressure behind them to actually help them atomize. It looks like the fuel's coming out in globs, like it's too heavy coming out, like it doesn't have enough pressure behind it to actually help break it up as it's going through the injectors. Idle air control is new, somebody else did it. It'd been to 3 different mechanics before it came here. They busted the distributor cap on it, the rotor was messed up in it, so I put a new rotor and distributor cap on it, and messed with the timing a little bit, got it to where it was hitting, but it'll start, die, start, die, start, die, start, die. And you can feather the throttle and you can keep it running, but it won't stay running. Morning. Yeah, it's more check the fuel pump, the throttle body and everything. It's already, that stuff's already all, somebody's already been messing with all that and cleaned everything. It's more along the lines of fuel pressure. I'm thinking I need to check supply pressure because it's actually not making enough supply pressure to help atomize it as it's coming through the injectors. Yeah, that's where I'm at, is fuel pump. Pretty sure that's where I'm at, is just the fuel pump is bad in this thing. Both of the injectors, they spray. I mean, they're not like hiccuping or anything like that. They're spraying just fine. It's just it's coming out too heavy and it's bogging the engine down. It's not like atomizing. Honestly, you guys can ask all the questions you want about fuel pump controller and regulator. I don't know that. I mean, remember, this is not my era of vehicle. I know how to work on these to an extent, but I'm limited. So it's like I still get involved in the older stuff, and I know enough about it to get my way around, but I don't know it like some of you guys do. I don't know where a fuel pump controller would be. I don't know the ins and outs of the older cars. This just wasn't my era. So I'm trying to do the best that I can with what I have. So I got to get it up today. I told my guy when he comes in today, I want him to check filter and stuff like that, and see if it's got an inline filter, and then figure out what it's going to take to get the pump out of here. How about that booster pack though, man? That booster pack is what's up. Or that, not booster pack, but that it is a booster pack as well, but it's more of a charger battery rejuvenator. Look at that. Look at this old girl. Beautiful. Yeah, but you gotta have an inline pressure tester, Canadian. You can't just test it. You gotta have a special hookup to test the pressure. Those are some expensive rims right there. Really expensive rims. Well, they are now, if you get the authentic ones. Everything works, the auto antenna up and down, everything works. This one, you guys remember Miss Johnson's car? We talked about it a little bit last night on A-Rod's live stream. This one, we put the air shock and stuff on it, just like, and then air pump it's on its way out, so it needs an air pump as well. So there's going to be more money put towards everything. Let me take the pistola and put it away real quick. This is a drive shaft off of a newer 2020 Audi. I think it was an Audi Q3. It was a little small 2-liter turbo one. And all the bearings came out of here. And the eccentric messed up on them. It's all shredded down here. And this thing's flopping around inside the housing. We ordered a new one from LKQ. And when it showed up, all the bearings were missing in that and were falling out of the shaft down there. And I was like, no, I'm not taking it. Not a new one, but a new good one that had the updated bushings already. Because one from the dealer, I think one from the dealer, they want like $1,500 or something for it, or $1,200 for a drive shaft from the dealer. But LKQ had one for like $500 or $800 or something like that. And it was still good with brand new bushings. And I ordered it from them, and it showed up from like Nebraska or something like that. And when it showed up, the bearings were falling out of the pilot. And I was like, no, take it back. I don't want it. Well, it was her mama's car. Her mama left it to her, so that's why she don't want to get rid of it. Go inside here. That's a swap we're doing right there. V6 to V8, everything, 4-wheel drive and all. This here is a vehicle that has been sitting for a long time out there in the lot, and it hasn't been touched. We put an alternator on it, and it fixed almost every single problem that this thing had. And now we're trying to sort out this pass-through connector issue on this. Let me show you real quick. Whenever the vehicle's running, I'm not a Infinity guy. Whenever the vehicle's running and you grab that connector right there, it goes right there, and you grab this connector, and you don't even have to touch the connector. It could be plugged in like this, and you just touch the wires right here. It starts clicking. Click, 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 click. I think it's better because I just lost signal for a second. How is this? Is it better now? Because it said I was losing signal being inside the building, and now I switched over to Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's better or not, but anyway, this Infinity, the pass-through connector, you touch it while it's running, and it just click, 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 click. Something's wrong with it. And what ended up happening with this is the power steering reservoir cracked, and it was dripping power steering fluid down into the alternator, and it took out the alternator. So I put a new alternator on it, put a new power steering reservoir on it, got that fixed. And then when it had some trans codes. So once we got it inside, started looking at the trans codes, came underneath it, checked that connector, and as you're touching the wires on the connector, it click, 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 click. You barely touch it, and it's clicking. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't buy a Benz unless somebody gave me a really smoking deal on one, man. You couldn't pay me to own one. Nationwide is on your side. Ugh. I gotta look for a damn pump this morning and get it ordered for that car. Y'all like the live stream stuff better than the morning videos, or would you rather have the morning videos? I just asking. Well, we have that the subscriber that's here on the channel that's got the town car. He dropped the price on the town car now. He doesn't want as much as he did, and I think I might buy it. I don't know if one of you guys want it. I can get it to you dirt cheap. The reason it's dirt cheap now, it's only got like 95,000 miles or something like that on it. Is his neighbor backed into the front bumper and cracked the header panel behind the plastic, so the bumper's got to be pulled off, and a new $80 piece of plastic has to be put behind it, and then it needs 2 new lights. So you're talking probably $400 worth of work, and then your labor to remove the front bumper. So I could get the car dirt cheap now. I mean, probably somewhere around $3,500 if somebody wanted to buy the car and just put the $400 into it yourself. That's all that's wrong with it, literally. She just bumped it pulling out of her garage. And I already have a couple shop cars, Max. I have 4 shop cars right now. 1 is the truck, and 3 of them are other cars that we finished. And if somebody needs to take one, they can just take it and go. I've got the Audi 2-liter turbo, the 09, the 13 09 2-liter turbo Audi, and then I have the 2010 Subaru Tribeca that's for sale. Anybody can drive any of those. But anyway, the guy with that town car, he bought a GTO because he wanted something fast, and it's a 6-liter, some stage 2 or stage 3 cam, and it's had a bunch, tuning work done, and 20 over, 6-liter. It's fast. It's very, very fast. And that would be something that I would love to have, like a Corvette or a GTO like that, or like a stripped out 5-liter Mustang, just like bare bones kind of thing. I mean, earlier, I didn't mean to come across that way to 10. Trust me, I did not mean to come across that way to that guy, but I don't like when people start talking to me like that. We're all cool and stuff like that, and I consider us all friends, but we just can't be like insinuating and talking down to and being disrespectful to each other just because. That's not what men do, and I don't like that stuff. I don't put up with it, so I didn't want to come across as a controlling person earlier, but at the same time, I want to let people know you will not disrespect me. You will not talk down to me. I don't care what you think about me. It's just not going to happen. And I like the guy. I don't like when people do that. I just don't think people pay attention when they're talking to other people and realize you're being kind of disrespectful right now, and it's not good. I wonder if I could find I'm going to pay for it myself. I'm not even going to take it out of the pay it forward fund. I'm just going to pay for it myself. I wonder if I can find a good used one off eBay. Just because the lady, she don't have the money to buy it new. Good morning. New OEM one for $572. OEM 2007 to 13 S550 air ride, $100. Looks brand new. $100. eBay performance part number OE. That's in great shape too. Really clean. What do you guys think? Good used OEM one? Says brand new, you can get them for $572, or pre-owned OEM in good condition, $100 with $20 shipping. I would think an OEM would be the best way to go. It's starting to get muggy already this morning. Ugh, it's terrible. Somebody bid $20 on this thing, but you can buy it now for $100. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It really does look good. It's just I want to make sure. 2007 to 2013 Mercedes-Benz S550 air compressor pump. I'm looking at all the fittings to make sure nothing's rotten, or you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Buy it now. The hell with it. You prefer the regular morning video, not the live stream? Huh. Well, look at you over here. Good morning, guys. Sorry, I gotta verify my account. 32554. Disposable, Dad. Awesome. I shouldn't. Yeah, so tomorrow we're doing a thing where are you going? Are you gonna go tomorrow with us to Indiana, or no?
Oh, I'm going to
I'm
Vegas
just
over
I just want you to know I'm live right now, but it's not facing anything over there. No, I'm just answering questions and stuff this morning. But you're not going. You're leaving for Vegas. Are you flying?
Yeah.
Hi.
I'll be back like Monday night.
You gonna gamble?
Try not to gamble too
When I went out to Vegas, I loved it out there. The only thing
It's a fun time.
only thing that I couldn't get used to is there was not even that. The walking was bad because I actually injured myself going there. That's how I injured my knee initially. I got hurt at work, and then the next day my knee popped out. Getting on the on the plane, so all the walking made it worse. That wasn't as much of a big deal to me as I couldn't get past the fact that there's like no green anywhere.
There's no what?
Green.
Oh no.
There's like no trees.
No,
There's
no.
no
It's a
grass.
desert.
Everything's
Desert.
fake,
Desert.
and mountains everywhere around you.
Yeah.
And-
Which is basically that strip, but that's it.
And it's all the color for everything is tan.
It's so fucking hot.
Yeah, everything is tan.
It's so fucking
And I was like, wow, if I lived here every single day, I'd have to get used to this because this is already driving me nuts. And
You know
there's
what things we don't make you think like the next hotel's not that far. You're gonna walk and look at it, and you're like, oh, it's just right there.
yeah,
And you fucking walk and walk and walk. You're like, God damn, this thing is far.
yeah, and it looks like
Yeah,
it's
it looks
right
like
there.
it's right there.
And then you start walking for it, and then you got to go. And then when you get there, you got to go through the door, up an escalator,
Yeah,
through security.
yeah.
Then you got to walk across the building, and it's like, what is
It's a
this?
lot of walking, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Give us a-
So tomorrow we're going to Indiana, is it Cranberry Lake or something like that. There's a company event, so that's where we're going tomorrow.
¿quién es?
Well, we're gonna take all the employees out there. Hey, I'm gonna buy that air compressor for her car. She ain't got the money for that compressor.
It needs a compressor.
Unfortunately, that's why I told her. I said I have a feeling with the amount of times that your compressor, Miss Johnson, your compressor has been kicking on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, and it's trying to level itself out. It can't do it.
I want to use
I'm gonna order one right now.
it.
Yeah, because
Fuck that.
I told her this could happen. Once I get your air spring
There's
replaced,
a price on there for a compressor. Like, even before the car gets
and I told her the compressor is gonna go out on this car. I know it's gonna go out on this car, but right now we do know you have a leaking air spring. I'm gonna have to replace that, or the next compressor is gonna go out as well if you end up having to replace it. But worst case scenario, you're in this thing deep. There ain't no getting out of it. Even the aftermarket stuff is so high right now for this car. It's ridiculous. I can't do anything for you favor wise. I've already done it. Our people here have already done it. We've already taken and put all our money together and said we're gonna bless you with this $1,400 to repair this axle and stuff for you.
can't do it over.
But we can't do it over and over and over again. And she said, I really appreciate you guys helping me the first time. It has given me some time to put some money away. I have the money
She
to.
came here to get the car repaired. She didn't go somewhere else.
At least she trusted us. My thing is, I had this conversation with her twice and said, you need to get rid of this car.
Yeah, I remember.
You need to. I know I'm not your boss. I know I'm not. I shouldn't have to tell you what to do, or maybe I'm out of line for even saying this. But I feel like sometimes it's our job whenever a customer comes in and we learn them and their situation and they get used to us and become comfortable and somewhat like family to us. we should be able to talk to them and tell them this car does not fit you. You cannot afford this car. This car,
She's not the only one.
right?
What it is with them,
There's a lot of
they love to buy these high-end cars, and then they break down and they're like,
what I call it online. I've called it the hood facade or something like that. I call it the hood facade
it don't make sense.
because people from the hood, what are the cars that typically come in here? Chryslers,
Those
Chryslers,
two,
Audis, Mercedes, and BMW.
sometimes even Land Rover.
Land Rovers, and you cannot afford to fix those cars. If you're not, I tell people all the time, if you're not making $60,000 a year or more plus, you cannot afford to be driving one of those cars. You just can't. It's
And
not.
the bill, how much it is to fix it. Like they can't afford it. Why are you driving this thing, man? Don't make sense.
And then it sits, and it sits, and it sits.
That's what happens, you know.
We get the repair done, and then the customer owes, and they ain't got the money right away, and then they gotta wait weeks, they gotta wait a month, and it sits. And then 3-4 months later, after they come to pay their bill, something else is wrong with the car because
That's
it
why
sat
Bill-
for so
that's why
long.
Bill was like, fuck it. Before the customer would tell you, yeah, fix it, and we would fix it. Now
Yeah.
we're into this car, whatever, and it's just sitting here now.
Yeah,
So I was like, fuck you, it's not gonna be like that anymore. You want it, you bring half the money,
yeah.
and I'll start.
That's why I started doing that. When you
Yeah.
told me how Bill was doing it, then
That's
I was
why I
like,
did,
I
yeah.
gotta have half the money up front for these bigger
Otherwise,
jobs.
it sits in the parking lot until they get the money.
You know what Young said? Young said the car after I repair it, it sits here so long, the warranty's up by the time they come to pick up the car. They got no more warranty on the car.
Bill used to say the same thing to him too.
Yeah.
You know what Bill used to tell him too? When there was engine repairs, he would tell him, listen man, if you don't have all the money, make deposits. Once I see you left enough money, then I'll order the engine. Because if I order the engine now, by
Yeah.
the time you finish paying, you got no warranty.
And I got no problem doing that as long as they'll be honest with me because I
Yes.
have their
Bill, that's what Bill would tell him.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll keep an
Yes.
open file for that person. You want this $4,000 engine, this $5,000 engine? I'll do it, but you need to start bringing the money
Bring
in.
deposits, and then what? By the time I see you have
But when I
enough,
see you got everything,
then I'll order the fucking engine.
at least I got the receipt, and I'm giving you receipts when you're making money to say how much you paid, so you have it and I have it, and I know I'm not getting screwed, and then you're not getting screwed,
Exactly. And then you still got your warranty.
and then you still got your warranty, and then I do the job, and then you take it fresh.
That's how it's.
Huh? Wait a second. Wait a second here. Now we're learning. I'm gonna ship it here so it comes directly here.
Used, right?
Yeah.
Hey, but I can get it used for you.
How much?
LKQ. Let me give it a call.
$100 through eBay.
It'll probably not that
eBay, LKQ ain't gonna sell that for $100. I'm all
I
I'm
didn't know
doing.
you were getting it that cheap.
Yeah, $100.
Any
Oh,
warranty on it?
OE.
Yeah, but warranty?
I don't know if you want to be on there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't, wait, I don't know if you want to be on there. No warranty. No. It's a private seller.
So
You can send it back to them if it doesn't work.
Right.
Because they typically don't want you to give them a bad review. So
Right.
they'll take it back and give you your money back if it's not a good compressor because they don't want you to leave them like a 1-star and it messes with their review.
No, and on top of that, if it's the wrong compressor too,
Oh, it's the right one.
it's for sure.
Yeah. It's a 7 to 13 S550 compressor. And then Axel showed me yesterday him taking off the lines and everything. Looks just like it. So I'm hoping.
What I do with eBay, I take the original Mercedes number and dump it in eBay.
I have it here.
Oh, that's what you did already.
No, I mean I didn't. I can ask you if it's the right
Yeah,
one.
work back. Let me get it up. Alright, Rich, what
Go back. Come on, he's gonna make me answer security questions and I'm trying to review the listing before I, do a final pay,
Right.
and I can't get back to the listing. Damn it. I gotta start it all over. Says this one is 221-320-1704. Okay, and we're good.
One more thing, though, I remember back in the day we changed this compressor, there was a relay that had to be replaced.
I
Even
did.
Wolfpack shows the relay number.
Can you get me the relay?
Yeah.
Give me the.
Just order the relay?
Just order the relay. Now, need to change the shipping. Ship to.
Okay, order the relay.
Cost an arm and a leg. Her price.
It's like 20 bucks.
Yeah, we need it. We need it. We need it. This is what they want done anyway. So, I did see 1A Auto or something like that. They had a compressor new through 1A Auto. I think they're out of like California or something like that. Pretty good company. They gave you the compressor and the relay for like $227, $240 or something, brand new.
Yeah, we're about 350 over here.
Her price?
That's our cost.
Yeah.
Let's say it goes bad though, bitch. How's that gonna go? Let's say she drives it.
It's on her.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a donation. It's on her.
Yes, don't be
If the pump goes bad a month from now, and I've already warned her, I'm being nice about it.
Exactly.
That's on her. Wake up.
Order? Any brand in particular, or good shit, cheap shit?
Yep, so we're processing right now. Thanks for shopping with us. There you go, sucker. Your stuff is set up. Another great way to buy. Track your shipping with this QR code. Well, we got her lined out. She's good now. We'll get it in, we'll get it installed. We got the new ear shock yesterday. I kind of got a soft spot in my heart for this lady just because she's like my old grandma or something like that. I mean, I don't know, call me silly or whatever. She came on the bus yesterday to pay half the money for this air shock to be installed. And when she got here, she had water coming down her face. And she was talking to me and stuff like that. And she started tearing up out of both of her eyes. And the whole entire time for like 15 minutes while she was standing here, she was real quiet about it. She had tears slowly running down both of her eyes. I mean, it wasn't something that she was faking. She was really getting emotional about the whole transaction between me and her. And hello, good morning. I need help. My rear turn signal is not working, and I already changed the light. Well, clear the codes. Watch my video on that, on the F-150s especially. You change the light all day, but until you clear the code, the BCM is not going to allow the circuit to be turned back on. I asked her, I said, are you crying right now? And she said, yes, I am. And I said, it's okay. What's wrong? And she said, this is kind of emotional for me. This is a big transaction. I don't spend money like this, and I don't want to get rid of that car. It's my mother's car, you know, and I want to keep the car. And I was like, So I, grabbed her hand, I held her hand, and I said, it's going to be all right. We're going to get you lined out. Hopefully this nickel and diamond you comes to a halt. But part of the reason why this is going on is because you let the car sit for so long without using it. This is the effect of what happens when you don't use a car and it just sits. I'd rather have a car that's been used than have a car that you just sit around and it's got super low miles on it and everything's falling apart. It also depends on the car. If it's a car with a bunch of air ride stuff and everything like that, I'm probably not buying it. If it's a low mileage car that's been sitting for a very, very long time, I probably won't touch it. It's going to be thousands of dollars in repairs right there, automatically. Just something I'm not going to do. I tried to get a hold of Launch yesterday in Launch, so I can talk about what's going on with the Top Gun and King Bolin scan tool auto authority lockout. I wanted to talk to them about why it happened. I know why it happened, but I wanted to hear from them why it happened, why they're not allowing Top Gun and auto authority, or not Top Gun and King Bolin, that product line, to use auto authority to get past the security gate in the Chrysler vehicles like 2018 and up. I know the story on why it happened, but I wanted to hear it directly from them and then ask some questions because, here I am doing videos on these products. I want to know more information on it. And I couldn't get a hold of nobody. Nobody would answer the phone. I couldn't talk to anybody. It was like they were trying to ghost me because they didn't want to explain exactly what was going on. No, you don't have to be a special scanner. I mean, if you let's slow down for a second here, buddy. Just because the bulb went out doesn't mean that, and you replaced it, doesn't mean it's going to work. There could be something wrong with the wiring to the connector. It could be the connector itself. You have to verify all that stuff before you verify it, or before you try to say, I replaced the bulb, it should be working right now. Not necessarily. If there's some kind of wiring problem, it's not going to work as well. And you have to make sure that, like I said, the codes are cleared out of it. And just a regular scanner typically will work. But now that you jog my memory, you may have to directly go into the body control module and actually erase the codes in the body control module. So you may need a better scanner. it's been a long time. Yeah, and sometimes you could have bad bulbs. You have any scan tool other than forescan that has functions of forescan? FDRS? Forescan. No, really, it's just, so far it's been forescan. Brighton Services, Rich. Yeah, let me put you on. I'll park you and then he'll pick up the phone. Para ti.
Pardon?
You know who it is. O'Reilly. I think it's O'Reilly. This is my favorite one now. The lemon drop bang. This is my new favorite one because it tastes like lemon drop candy. I know. Save the comments. That's bad for you. Why are you drinking it? You're gonna turn into a slime ball. Yeah. I had a dude come in here not too long ago, and he was like, "Man, every time I get tires done on this Econoline, either my guys or the tire shop or somebody's breaking these tire sensors on this thing. Is there anything that you can do about it?" And I went into the body control module, and I found the programming for the TPMS, and I changed everything to 0000000 and then like 0200. Programmed the TPMS completely out of the vehicle, so it doesn't even look for it anymore. So they can put regular tire sensors in the vehicle and it not flag any codes. So Forescan does a lot. I was able to program those TPMS sensors out of like a 12 or 13 Econoline, so the guy didn't have to worry about breaking the tire sensors anymore. Regular valve stem, half-hour charge, $75, done 15-20 minutes. Have the guy back on the road, not putting tire sensors in his truck anymore. So a lot of stuff you guys don't get to see. There's a lot of people that leave comments on there like, "Oh, I missed the the videos that you used to work on the vehicles in the shop and stuff." I'm still doing that. I still work on vehicles and stuff here. I just don't record everything now because the biggest portion of what I do in the morning is management.
Okay, so I'll take
Looking over everybody, trying to figure out what's going on in the shop, trying to put out fires and stuff like that, dealing with customers, billing out warranty companies and stuff. And yesterday morning when I got to work, I went right outside with my guy, and all I did was pick up trash and mow the grass and stuff around the building and stuff like that. I'm not too good to do that stuff. I jump out there with them and I do it. I try to take the lead if I can, so they know that they're not. I wouldn't give them something to do that I wouldn't do. So I do too. I program the auto start stop out with Forescan. I turn it off on the dash. I turn it off through the BCM, and I turn it off through the. I turn the function off. Is there anything that we've done for oil consumption? Yeah, you check PCV, make sure the PCV is good. If not, update it anyway if you're unsure. Make sure that if I was you, I would do a basic EPR flush every other oil change for a little while to see if it makes a difference. If that don't work, then it's kind of one of those things where good luck, kind of thing. Any of y'all have any car questions before we get off here? Because we've been on here for an hour. An hour is typically what I try to limit it to. So, car questions before we get off here. Easy. Give me some easy ones. Not any kind of like, I'm dealing with a wiring program that I've been looking at for 60,000 years. My son's 06 Escape has a leaking brake booster check valve that the dealer says has been discontinued. Can I use a universal check valve that only has one hose going to it? Current one has two. You can use a universal. So what you can do, I don't know if you want to do this. If you want to, you can. If you don't, like what? So you said 06 Escape? 06 Escape. Would you say it has? Let me go back here. As a leaking brake booster check valve, the dealer has been discontinued. Can I use a universal check valve that only has one hose going to it? Current one has two hoses. If the current one has two hoses, alright, I'm looking at a brake booster check valves that have two ports. Is one of them a bigger line and one is a smaller line that you're dealing with? I wouldn't block it off if it's there. It's been there. Yes, the smaller one goes to the air intake. There's a couple of them on here right now. If you just type this in Google, 2006 Ford Escape brake booster check valve 2-port, there's several options that pop up, and I think one of them is the one that you need. And one of them actually has a cap on it. It says power brake booster check valve Mopar, but it looks like the same one that goes on the Ford as well. There's several options right there, and one of them comes with a cap if you want to cap it off. And there's one of them that has 3 ports. Look that up real quick if you can Google it on your phone or something like that, and then let me know. 'Cause that's how I looked at it, and there's a couple different options here. You can get a 2-port one, you can get a 3-port one. What is this here? 2000 Camry, 170,000 miles, 5,000 miles a year, oil change every 6 months. Okay, absolutely. I have a weird noise I'm taking into the shop next week for every now and again. In part, it sounds like some rattling dice in a cup from under the hood, maybe 2 or 3 seconds long. What vehicle is that on, Canadian? Thomas, you too. Appreciate it. (2013) You do know that some of these vehicles do, when you shut them off, some of these vehicles do a self-check whenever the vehicle's shut off. It will actually actuate like the ABS pump and stuff like that. It'll buzz it. Zip. Let me say this. 2006 Ford Escape brake booster check valve 2-port. I don't know what to tell you then. If it's doing that, then I don't know. It could be that the air conditioning system is also decompressing, because a lot of manufacturers will say when you shut the vehicle off and the AC turns off as well, there will be some kind of sound as everything starts to settle. That's normal. Sometimes you'll even hear a groaning sound from underneath it as the AC settles. How can you tell on a direct injection engine that it has carbon buildup? I have a 1.5 liter Honda Civic 2018. It's gonna have carbon buildup. All those direct injection engines do. I'm telling you right now that that's exactly what I put in, man. Look, I'll show you. I wouldn't lie to you. Will using premium fuel keep carbon buildup less? Maybe some minute form, but carbon buildup is going to happen. No matter what, there's going to be a carbon buildup issue. Even on port injection, you're going to have carbon buildup in areas that you don't want it. It's just, you can't get away from it completely. The combustion process, just unfortunately, that's a byproduct of it. It's going to happen. When we get them in here, we have to pull the intake manifolds off, and we just do a complete walnut cleaning. We're just real careful about it. We do a walnut cleaning, and then they end up running real good. If you want me to get you the part number off one of those check valves, let me know, and I'll click on it to get you the part number so you can look that check valve up more directly. Best oil to go 5,000 intervals, still Pennzoil Ultra. Oh yeah, Pennzoil Ultra is going to be number one, and then for most affordable, and then Valvoline Extended Protection High Mileage is next, or Valvoline High Mileage, either one. They're both kind of right next to each other. It's hard for me to pick the one that's, but Ultra is my number one go-to. What do you think of the Ford 500? Mine has 235. I don't really like the 500s. They had a lot of issues with electronics and the charging system in general. It's not something I prefer to work on just because it's kind of a pain in the butt. With the GDI engines, you have the intake cleaning on a normal schedule. Yeah, I mean, it said, I think in the books with the GDI engines, it says you got to do intake cleaning every like 10,000 miles or something like that, and people don't do it. Here's a question. Is it a good idea to treat your car to a tank of premium every now and again? Not really. The reason I say that is the additives that you find in 87 are the same additives that you find in, a lot of people make a big deal out of this, and maybe some companies do change it a little bit, but it's not that much when you get premium fuel. If your vehicle is not really set up to run premium fuel, remember it's the octane number is the resistance to burn, right? So if you have 87, it's typically for regular compression vehicles, lower compression vehicles, and then something with 91, 93, you can run that, and it will adjust its timing a little bit on your vehicle to maybe get a little bit more power or something, or maybe feel a little peppier. But most of the time, if the compression ratio for that engine isn't really set up for that octane fuel, even though the manufacturers have given you timing advancement to make up for that not being there, you're not really gaining anything out of it. So running premium fuel every once in a while, people think it's going to be this miraculous thing that cleans out your, it's not. You're wasting your money. You're not getting anything out of it. Which one do you want, Zib? Do you want the one that only has the 2-port with the cap on it from Power Brake Booster Check Valve? It's on eBay. If you go to eBay, and in the search in eBay, let me give you the item number. The item number is long. If somebody can type this in the chat for him so he can go back and reference it, that would be great. The item number is 354 313 106 908. Is that, have a clock on it over there? Or no? Over there? Or you tell me you're I gotta punch you in.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you have one over there? Okay. Okay. So is that the one you're looking for, Zib? If that's the one you're looking for, that's a 2-port, and they give you a cap so you can put on 1 port. I don't know if that's the one you want or not. I can give you the part number for the other ones too if you want. Morning, Wild Bill. So, Trouble brought up a good point here. You said, put the Valvoline high mileage in my lower mileage truck, and it's so quiet and smooth. And there was an interview with a Valvoline oil scientist, and she was sitting in a lab, and she was talking about oil and stuff, and there was another influencer. I don't know if somebody can help me find that interview. I've been really looking hard for that interview, and it was another social media influencer that had sat down at the Valvoline headquarters laboratory and stuff, and sat down and talked to this lady. And he said one of the questions my subscribers ask me a lot is, can I run high mileage oil in my lower mileage vehicle? And she said, absolutely. Higher mileage oils can help condition seals early on. Higher mileage oils are not just made for higher mileage vehicles. We put more protection in there because it's a higher mileage vehicle and they need it. So they typically pay, 50 cents, a dollar more a quart or something like that, but that protection is there. You can start it early as well. There's nothing that says that you can't. You're actually going to be getting a little bit more ester in the oil for conditioning the seals and stuff, which is not necessarily a bad thing. If you start early on, you're not going to damage anything. It's people later on in life that think that they're doing something or guys that think that, oh, I can't run high mileage oil in my low mileage vehicle. Why do you think it's going to miraculously or astonishingly explode or something? You think all the seals are going to blow out? It's not how it works, bud. You're actually putting a better oil in the vehicle. What could it be? Customer states, my AC is not working. Both fans come on high at the radiator all the time. Clutch on the compressor engages sometimes. Okay. High pressure switch could be bad. You have to monitor your system pressures. If the system pressures are normal and the fans and everything are coming on, I've replaced a lot of high pressure switches in them for that condition. Also, I have had a lot of vehicles where I have to clean out the air conditioner, the condenser and stuff like that, because people don't ever clean it out, and it doesn't bring the pressure down in the system properly, and they stay high, almost off the hit. I can have a vehicle that's only been running for 5 minutes and have enough system pressure to where the fans stay on immediately, or when you first key on, it's just a matter of 30-45 seconds because the temperatures aren't being regulated by the air flow across the air conditioning condenser, because it cannot flow properly to change the state. Remember, we have latent heat of condensation and we have latent heat of evaporation. The evaporation process is taking place, but the condensation process is not taking place. It's not being pulled from a gas to a liquid properly, and it's staying in its gas form too long, which will operate the fans higher, trying to change that state. So sometimes what people will do is they'll unplug the sensor and they'll see if anything changes, or they'll unplug it and jump it and see if anything changes. We get a lot of I've had a couple Toyotas in here recently with that. I've had a couple Hondas in here recently with that. I had one Mercedes SUV recently in here with a high pressure switch causing those problems. I don't know, Wild Bill. I don't mess with the flash code stuff too much. I wish I could help you more, but that's out of my wheelhouse. I have to look that stuff up myself, and then I go to work. Good morning. Just picked up a 17 Fusion, 40k miles, just got trans fluid changed, dropped, but don't think they changed the filter. You can't change the filter on that, Douglas. It's internal. All they can do is drop the fluid and fill it back up. Yeah, service the power takeoff unit. If it's four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, you need to service the PTU, because it'll probably come out looking like tar. And then every 20,000 miles, you need to service the PTU on that thing, because it will literally bake the internals of that. It is not lifetime fluid like Ford says. And to replace the PTU is probably ballpark anywhere between $1,700 to $2,500. Barbados, in my 2000 Camry, 170,000 miles, you would use high mileage oil? Of course I would. How long does it take to replace an airbag in the driver's side 07 Ranger? 20 minutes. For a new guy, just pop the caps off both sides, take the 8 or 10 millimeter bolts out of the side, and then pull the bag out, and take like a little pocket screwdriver and pick the clips. take the clips out, set the new, or put the new clips in, snap it in, put your airbag back in, line your bolts back up with like a magnetic, hopefully you're using magnetic sockets, get them started, done. I want to tell you to be careful if you're changing the airbag. I've never seen one explode by somebody not disconnecting the battery, but I think you're supposed to go through a depowering process on that particular vehicle. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't do it, but I know you're supposed to. I don't know, K&N air filter versus regular air filter. We'll see. We're going to try it out again. So far, I'm saying regular. At 40,000 miles, fluid flush, spark plugs. How are you? He's still coming from his home. He's not here yet. You. What do you need? Move my car?
No.
Oh, work on your car?
Yeah.
Oil change, tires, brakes. What are we doing to your car? Okay. All right. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go take care of this gentleman real quick. I don't know what he wants. He doesn't speak very good English, and he's waiting for my business partner, to show up here. So I'm gonna get off here and go take care of him real quick. Sorry I couldn't get to the rest of the questions, but it's fine. I live in Jersey. Should I do 5:30 in the winter and 10:30 in the summer? No, just do 5:30 all year round. I would do 5:30 all year round, unless you think in the summer you need more protection. But in Jersey, no, 5:30 would be fine. If your vehicle's under, be sure to use a certified oil so you don't risk you. First of all, they're going to have to test the oil to figure out if it even, and they don't do that. Well, I don't even know how to say your name. Mamek Tan. First of all, they don't test the oils, and second of all the oils now are GF6 rated. All the newer oils, they should be GF6 rated. That's the only oils that most people are going to be buying now that are on the shelf. So any of those are going to meet manufacturer's requirements. It would be very hard for a manufacturer to say that oil doesn't fit my vehicle with it being GF6 rated. So that's kind of like, people say what you just said, and it's kind of a misconception. There's really nothing that they can do. As long as you're servicing your oil with a specified oil, the weight, all the oils on the market are going to be able to maintain that vehicle. There's no oil on the market right now of name brand that doesn't maintain what the manufacturer. What ends up happening is people have to pay to play. You got to be in the boys club, so you pay the extra few dollars or whatever, maybe $1 million to be put on the label or a manufacturer's list or something like that. So people think that Castrol or Shell or whatever is, but it's just all a pay to play system. All the new oils are more than compatible. As long as you fit the weight and the weight standard, that's all that matters. Any reason to use conventional? No, not unless you're consuming oil and you want to. If you're consuming oil and you want to try to slow it down, then you'll increase the weight, and sometimes going to a conventional will help slow things down. But even at that, it's still going to consume oil more than likely. Semi-synthetic is the minimum at which manufacturers require to go in most American vehicles now. So, all right, guys, I'm jumping off here. I'm gonna go see what this guy wants. So take care. Be blessed.